But do dolphins want to swim with me? The cooking apples have long gone brown on the countertop. Nights arrive like iguanas in suits, and with them the long dream on a beach where a pop-up notification blocks the sunset. These poems are the kiddie pools I inflate while I'm alive. Hello, good evening, buonasera. Thanks for having me. Thanks for sharing your Friday evening with me, with all of us. These next poems are from a collection called OK, which was mentioned by Robert. And they're kind of love poems with found text from OkCupid, the website, dating website. I can change. Warning, I am very sexual. My favorite tree is Cedrus deodara, and my favorite vegetable is the humble radish. I am good at poetry, trust me. Make strange jokes about everything. I have spent my life preparing for that glorious moment, communicating with words, disappointing my grandparents, noticing haircuts, and I originally wrote this to be cryptic, but it's actually quite true. I have ended up being a lover of everything. Yes, I am good at going to the beach. One more of these. The outdoors and anything outside. Complaining is fun. Go through a divorce. Sleep one night on one tree in a city park. I cannot stress enough that I am just a chef. Single geese flying overhead make me feel like crying. This is one of the many examples of magic in the world. Ask if you're interested in knowing more. The next project is more found text, but I was trying to reimagine some classic kind of canonical poems through the world of Facebook pages. I don't know if you remember 10 years ago, there were like thousands of Facebook pages you could like, and so all the lines are taken from Facebook pages that I've actually liked in real life. So The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost from 1916 is my version. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I always wondered who would cry if I died. Aries are most likely thinking, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I'm in the goddamn woods. One day I would like to make my own anime. You thought what you said would make me unpopular. Now I'm a legend. I live in a chicken coop on a mountain in the woods, and my backyard is a swamp. Go and jump in the road. What would you do if you had powers? I would walk 1,000 miles. If my ceiling fan could hold my weight, I would never be bored again. When I walk alone, I was always remember that day when you and me walked on the road, and then I don't feel alone. Am I alone? My pet frog died. It's what he would have wanted. So some of them are more successful than others, but it's trying to capture the kind of emotional cadence of the poem, as you can see, with quite some strictures. This is a familiar one to people who use Twitter. This is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams from 1934. This is just to say, I have texted lying down and dropped my phone on my face. Nobody is perfect and I'm nobody. One more of these. How Do I Love Thee? Sonnet 43 by Elizabeth Barrett Browning from 1850. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love to go outdoors and play my violin. I love zebras, they're basically my life. I hate it when someone is BRB and never come back. I love to party, play basketball, and have a hell of a time with my life. I love stallions, the best horses. I want to feel alive with you, maybe. Panino is the singular of panini. Hello? Can you hear me? I love you. This is my motivational message to you. I love eating breakfast at midnight. Running over a cat should be illegal, just like it is for dogs. I just wanted to paraphrase something that Adrian said in the introduction because, I don't know, he said, at last we have arrived in this current moment. And I think that's the truest thing I've ever heard anyone say, and I just wanted to repeat it. So yeah, these are some poems that I've released in a book called I Hope God is Watching. I Know God is Watching, sorry. And they'll be familiar to anyone who uses the internet. They're obviously memes, but I've used the technique of erasure or blackout to remove some lines to try and salvage any kind of poetic content from a meme. So I did 69 of these, which is a beautiful number. And so I'm just going to read them out to you, and thanks for bearing with me. So here we have this person dressed as a French maid, and this one says, I have thoughts, but I need help. It's very true. This guy's saying hello, and it says, the floor hates the table and chairs. This is my best work, I think. This guy looks shocked, has a beautiful heart on his face. A room when you were younger, the sun in the corner of the paper, the shape of a real heart, just to balance the light. That's the closest I got to some poetic meaning, but why is it called dog food? It's a good question. I'm searching for the answer for that one. And this is the title, Meme. I am in pain. I know God is watching. Those are 5 of the 69. There's 64 more, but the book is out of print, so I'm afraid sold out. Okay, so I'm going to read from my proper poetry book, even though this is the one I'm most proud of, the Minions one, obviously, some poems. So this, don't call it a dream. I let summer take over the house for however long it needs. And what is it about the clawed opening of dawn that makes me want to call it that? If you can't do the crime, don't do the crime. And don't thank me for the birthday wishes. Please just let me grow my beans. The bank will lend you money. From the bridge, I see the green field, and in the green field, the black field. If you can prove you don't need it, the bank will lend you money. Approach your enemies like a haircut. I opened 2 gifts this morning. They were my eyes. Thank you, Lord. One good thing. The ceiling fan just lives there. I touch your back while the sun does, and later on the empty bus home, roll off the seat when we corner too fast, and stay on the floor for a moment thinking, one good thing about being alive is the view. Your inbox gently fills. This hospital could use a hospital, you think, while the world feels big and spooky again, and back at home, your inbox gently fills. It's not quite true that every car should stop while a poem is in operation, but try to tell me it wouldn't be nice. And the last one I'll read is the title poem, which interestingly, because I have been to Romania before, I did, as was mentioned, I read here, I read in Cluj, and this last poem is actually dedicated to a gentleman who stood up and told me there was too much of me in my poems, and he didn't like that. He didn't like seeing that much of me in poetry. So I dedicated this whole book to him. So it's dedicated to a Romanian. Congratulations. Yeah. It's called Hello. I love it when cows eat the floor. And if you let yourself, it can almost hurt to wonder where a helicopter went. I know in my heart that I'm a cowboy. I know that I'm here to try to help put your bad fortune back inside the cookie. I know that I'm here for the moment that the pickles hit the plate. I'm here for good and to pair your socks by window light. And to the man who told me there is too much me in my poems, hello. Thanks very much for listening. Take care.